you'll realize this is happening? That's connected to that. And you'll be a warrior because you will speak up. And that's one of the problems today is that kids have so much information, and they don't know what the heck to do with it. And there's so much energy. And right now, we've got the gift of COVID working through us. So I hope, Kevin, this helps. And please tell your daughter and your son. Don't worry about this. We're working on it. It's going to be okay. Bob Marley was right. Three little birds singing this sweet song just for you. Everything's going to be okay. And that's what they need is assurance. And that's why I don't like it when people find an expert and they get a lot of money. I mean, can you imagine there are some people that they're charging like $500 an hour to somebody who's up shit creek and most often doesn't have enough money. Hardly anybody's got enough money these days. And it's like I never understood why it's okay to charge people who are suffering and who are choosing to do the brave work of changing. And there's lots of other things, Kevin, that you can try, and I'd love to coach you through it. There's forms of breath work and sound healing and lullabying. But you and your partner have got to know this from the inside before it can be helpful to your kids. But the biggest thing is tell them, hey, kid, I got faith in you. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. And Kevin, it's going to be okay. I stopped being Grandpa Ricky. And Kevin, and anybody watching this that feels is useful, pass it on to anybody else who might find it useful. But more important, make your own videos. Talk about what's worked for you. What are your miracles? What miracles have you seen? What miracles have you participated in? And what are you learning that's helping? And what are you doing that's helping? How do you soothe yourself? How do you take a break from your inner universe and the outer universe by dissociating? Maybe it's getting shit-faced drunk. Maybe it's watching Netflix for 5 hours. We got to have breaks. And we've got to say, yeah, I made mistakes. I want to make amends. And the biggest amend I can do is I'm going to be different. I am going to be different. And maybe the other person will notice. But this whole idea of somebody saying, hey, Kevin, I want to make amends for you about this time that, I stepped on your foot. And you've probably maybe forgotten about me stepping on your foot, but me bringing it up brings up the whole mess again. And instead of you saying, hey, that guy, Grandpa Ricky, stepped on my foot. That bugger. But I'm going to phone him up and give him a piece of my mind. And so you phone up and we talk, and then you find out I'm different. And then that helps you shift the energy. Because, the biggest things we've got, they're like diseases now. The disease of fear, the disease of anger, the disease of rage, the disease of getting stuck in these loops of feeling sorry for ourselves. It's important to know how to feel sorry for yourself. I mean, there's nobody around to say, hey, I want to give you a hug, so we got to give ourselves a hug and say, oh, honey, I'm so sorry that you got hurt, and it's going to be okay. It's like my grandmother once held me for like 5 hours. And I was a little kid, and I'd cut my chin, a huge big gash under here. It's a great scar. And she was 40 miles from a doctor. And she'd been brought up in the country, so she just made herself comfortable and then put me on her lap in a wicker rocking chair. And she just did this. She figured out how she could hold the skin together for hours. And then she'd